For years, Blind Frog Ranch has cloaked itself in shadows, hushed whispers of treasure, strange disappearances, and unspeakable energies swirling beneath its cracked, red earth. Discovery Channel's mystery at Blind Frog Ranch brought these secrets to the surface, but the latest shockwave doesn't come from a buried artifact or a glowing cave wall. It comes from a man who once swore to uphold the law. His name is James "Jim" Harlan, a retired sheriff's deputy from Uintah County. And after decades of silence, he's come forward with a chilling revelation. I was told never to go near that land. Orders came from higher than the sheriff's office, from D.C. maybe, and I listened until I saw what they were hiding. The stranger in uniform Jim Harlan first appeared at the ranch's security gate in late March 2025, clutching a thick binder and wearing his faded deputy's jacket. Duane Olina, the ranch's owner, was understandably cautious. He didn't come like a tourist, Duane said in an interview. He came like a man on a mission. He knew things about the tunnels, about the military flyovers we'd spotted. He even knew where we found that melted piece of metal near the old river. What started as an off-camera conversation soon turned into a taped interview, raw, unfiltered, and almost too strange to believe. It was never about treasure, according to Harlan. The legends of Aztec gold and Spanish coins are little more than diversions, an elaborate smokescreen planted decades ago. In 1987, Jim said, I responded to a missing persons case. A prospector had gone off-grid north of the basin. We found his gear near the ranch fence line, tools, maps, even a Geiger counter. But not him. The strange part? His boots were full of blood, but his feet were gone. Clean gone. He pauses in the footage, eyes glinting with pain and fear. That same week, 2 men in Air Force uniforms showed up at my office. They took everything. The report, the photos, even the cassette from my patrol car. They said it was a national geological concern. That was the first time I heard the term subterranean vault. Buried vaults and whispering tunnel. Long-time viewers of mystery at Blind Frog Ranch will recall Duane and Chad Olinger's relentless search through a system of flooded tunnels beneath the ranch. But Harlan says the actual network stretches far beyond what's been shown on TV. There's a sealed chamber below the property, deeper than the water caves, deeper than the mine shafts. A vault made of an unknown alloy. Not stone, not metal. Something else, Harlan explained. He claims he saw a satellite rendering of this vault in 1992 during a classified law enforcement summit. The file labeled it AE Vault 3. AAE stood for Anomalous Entity. Whatever was down there, they didn't build it. They were afraid of it. Footage withheld from the public's even more unsettling. Harlan claims Discovery Channel producers have withheld footage from Season 4 due to pressure from unnamed government officials. There's a clip, he said, of Chad and that cave diver, Nate, encountering a section of wall that pulsed when they touched it, like it was alive. They lost audio for 3 minutes, and when it came back, Nate was coughing up blood. This footage never aired, but Jim provided what he called a partial frame grab from a personal contact in editing. It shows a blurred wall, almost organic in texture, with what appear to be handprints emerging from its surface. The ranch's forbidden zone. Duane has long spoken of a zone on the northeast corner of the property that gives their instruments wild readings. Compasses spin. Batteries die. But Jim says that area isn't just unstable, it's contaminated. They called it the dead spot, he said. In '96, 4 men in biohazard suits entered it with a special drilling rig. Only 2 came back. One was blind. The other was burned from the inside. Jim claims the soil in that zone contains non-terrestrial isotopes, elements with decay rates that don't exist on the periodic table. The disappearance of Marcus Bellone of the biggest bombshells came when Jim brought up the case of Marcus Bell, a geophysicist who briefly appeared in Season 2. Bell vanished after speaking on air about a gravity anomaly beneath the ranch. His disappearance was ruled accidental, blamed on a hiking trip gone wrong. But Jim isn't buying it. He contacted me 3 days before he vanished, Jim said. Told me he found proof of a rotating magnetic structure underground. Said it looked built like a machine. Then he said this: "I don't think it's from here, Jim. And I don't think it's sleeping anymore." That was the last anyone heard from him. What's really under Blind Frog Ranch? Combining Jim Holland's testimony with past discoveries, we start to paint a terrifying picture. Metallic artifacts with no identifiable origin. Water samples showing isotopic anomalies. Sudden power outages. EM pulses. A vault, possibly alien, buried hundreds of feet underground. Are these pieces of an ancient defense system? A long dormant engine? A prison? Duane is more convinced than ever. Whatever it is, it didn't come from this planet. Or if it did, it's been changed by something down there. A growing divide among the crew. Jim's revelations have caused a quiet schism behind the scenes. Some crew members want to push forward, dig deeper, and expose the truth, whatever the risks. Others are asking to be reassigned. One anonymous team member told Discovery Insider, "We've crossed a line. It's not a treasure hunt anymore. It's a countdown." Government response. Or silence. When Discovery producers reached out to federal agencies for comment, none responded. However, satellite imagery of Blind Frog Ranch from public sources shows noticeable censorship beginning in mid-2024. Certain areas blurred or digitally obscured. And in May 2025, a low-altitude flyover by a private drone captured several unmarked black SUVs leaving the property under cover of night. Who are they? What did they retrieve? Jim Holland has one theory. Whatever's beneath that ranch, it's waking up. And they're trying to cover their tracks before it's too late. The final revelation in a final interview segment filmed just weeks before this article was written. Jim looked directly into the camera. "They'll say I'm lying. That I'm old, confused, or making it up for attention. But I swore an oath to protect people from what they didn't understand, even if it came from the stars or the center of the earth." Whatever you believe about Blind Frog Ranch, believe this: it's not done with us. Coming up, Season 5 explodes with Truth Discovery has confirmed that mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. Season 5 will feature footage from Jim's interview, enhanced LiDAR scans of the vault, and, perhaps most shockingly, a live electromagnetic event caught on camera during the crew's final dig of the season. Chad Olinger, visibly shaken in a teaser clip, says only this: "Though you were warned. Jim tried to stop us. But we went anyway." Will they find the vault? Will the buried machine awaken? And will Jim Holland's confession go down as the whistleblower moment that finally blew open the real mystery of Blind Frog Ranch? Now 74, Elwood walks with a limp and talks in gravel. A man more used to writing citations for drunk driving and broken taillights, Jack never expected to become the center of an international conspiracy. "I kept my mouth shut for nearly 3 decades," Jack said in the first on-camera interview recorded at a local diner outside Vernal. "But the more I see on that damn TV show, the more I realize it's not over. They're digging into something they shouldn't, and I should have warned them." Elwood served the Uintah County Sheriff's Office from 1973 to 1998. In 1994, he was dispatched to a call he never filed officially, a call that came from inside what is now Blind Frog Ranch. The night of the blue mist, according to Elwood. The call came in after sunset on July 2, 1994. A nearby rancher named Albert Kazan had reported seeing men in suits with no faces walking near a canyon wall that wasn't on any map. The dispatcher told Elwood to ignore it. It was probably just hikers or misidentified shadows. But Jack couldn't let it go. He drove out to the coordinates and found Kazan shaking under his porch, repeating the same sentence. The rocks moved, Jack. The rocks moved, and they spoke. Elwood went on foot, flashlight in hand, into the brush surrounding the now famous pond at the center of the ranch. He remembers the heat, and then a sudden cold, as if he'd stepped inside a freezer. I turned the light toward a formation of rocks. They weren't there a minute earlier. They were wet, almost pulsing. And then this mist, a blue mist. It drifted out and touched my hand. I felt like someone was inside my head, asking questions I couldn't understand. He blacked out. When he came to, it was sunrise. His patrol car had been moved, and Kazan was gone. Files erased, memories buried. When Jack returned to the sheriff's office to file a report, he was intercepted by a man he didn't recognize. Tall, sharp suit, silver tie pin in the shape of a compass. He showed me a badge that didn't belong to any agency I knew, Elwood said. He told me the incident never happened. He handed me an envelope with $500 and a note that read, "You're not ready to remember what you saw." The next day, Elwood found his personal notepad missing. His cruiser had been replaced, and his call sign had been changed without explanation. I knew then I was on thin ice. I didn't have a family to protect, but I had a job, a life, so I kept quiet, until now.